Hello everybody who is registered for the oratory competition. My name is Ruben Arana Downs, and I want to basically let you have some information about some of the updates and some of the things that you want to know for the competition. Okay, first thing, we have reduced the amount of time to 3 minutes. So now you will have just 3 minutes to give your speech, and those 3 minutes also include if you're going to introduce yourself, though that introduction is included in that 3 minutes. If you're going to have the host introduce you, that will not be considered part of your 3 minutes. So make sure you adjust yourself accordingly to that, as well as you will now have a 30-second grace period. So that means you can speak for between 2 minutes and 30 seconds and 3 minutes and 30 seconds without being penalized. All right, so here's some things that the judges are going to be looking at when you do your speech. There's going to be 5 different categories. It's going to be how well you're organized, how your stage presence is. Then there's going to be your appearance, and then your actual speech, and then how you sounded. All right, so what that means is, in terms of how you're organized, when we hear your speech, we're going to be looking at your introduction, your body, and your conclusion. If everything is flowing correctly, if everything's in a sense is organized in a way that's just pleasing to the ear. So there's not too much, your introduction is not too heavy, and your body is weak, and your conclusion is weak as well. We want to balance on all 3 categories, all 3 sections of your speech. All right. Then with your then with your stage presence, we're looking at your movement, your gestures, how well you move your hands, and if your hands are in your pockets the whole time, that's not going to increase your points. How much eye contact you have. Are you looking at the audience? Are you looking at your paper the whole time? It's okay, and as another note, it's okay to have your notes or note cards with you, but you don't want to spend the whole time reading from your note cards or from your sheet of paper. You want to make sure you look up and make eye contact with the entire audience. All right, we'll talk about that in more detail as we get closer. The next thing is your appearance. You want to make sure that you're dressed well. You want to make sure that you look neat and presentable. We tend to look for a more conservative type dress, but if you feel like perhaps your speech would go over better if you were in some sort of a costume, perhaps you might consider that. All right, but definitely neatness and some attention to detail in terms of how you are dressed. And then your speech itself, we're looking at how the topic is, how well you chose the topic, if it's appropriate for this speech. Now, of course, it's all going to be within the frame of Black history, but you want to make sure that the topic you choose specifically still is in accordance to that and still makes sense. Then, of course, the language that you choose, if you're writing your own speech, you want to make sure the language is elevated. Don't give a speech that just celebrates poor language. We want to see higher levels of vocabulary in your oratory speeches, as well as your grammar. Make sure you're saying all your sentences correctly, and all the grammar is correct. All right, and then finally is in the sound of the speech. Are you sounding enthusiastic? Are you excited about what you're about to tell us? So the more enthusiastic, the more pleasant your voice is, the stronger your voice is, the what better you will do in this competition. All right, so those are some pointers. Hope everything works out well for everybody. Take care, and God bless, and I'll see you in church.